Hi there, it's me here, Annalena. I will read chapter 3 of the story The Mollimi People from Deep Space that I wrote some years ago. A dear friend of mine helped me with the translation into English. So here we go. Chapter 3 is called Emma's Prayer to the Universe. The sun is low on the horizon when Amitola and Motega meet again outside Aquene and Ahanu's house. The large fire-red ball hangs beautiful and round over the hilly horizon and colors the evening sky a vivid pink. Amitola and Motega stand completely still and enjoy the magnificent sight. Good night. See you tomorrow, Grandpa, says Amitola as she waves at the sun, and Motega laughs heartily. Amitola, you are truly the only alien I know that says good night to the sun. Motega shakes his head and looks at his friend with a mischievous smile and a gleam in his eye. Yes, of course I do. He's my grandfather, Amitola replies as she looks at the sun with loving eyes. She smiles innocently. Now they see Ahanu and Aquene walking out of the forest in the direction of the house. They are both in their later years and with their wise, friendly eyes, surrounded by smiling wrinkles, the two look quite like each other. Like Aquene, Ahanu also has long grey hair that is gathered in a thick braid down his back. Hello, Ahanu smiles happily when he sees the two youths. He is a large, strong man dressed in grey pants, a red tunic, and a short blue cape across the shoulders. He has a black leather belt around his stout belly, and in the belt he has a beautifully decorated sheath with a knife in it. Ahanu is a warm and good-natured man, and he often laughs with a deep, heartfelt, and contagious laugh. Aquene and Ahanu stop outside the house and remain there for a while, enjoying the last rays of the sun before it disappears behind the ridge. Then they go inside. Amitola and Motega are excited about what they have to say, and they notice the seriousness in Aquene's eyes when she begins. We must go into the forest this evening, to a place where you have not been before. But first we have to see what the fountain will show us. Amitola and Motega nod knowingly and watch closely as Aquene again sprinkles some seeds into the clear water. First smoke appears, and when it disappears, they can see the Earth's globe again, hanging large, round and blue in space. The Earth is completely still for a moment before it begins to turn, faster and faster, until it is rapidly spinning. It eventually stops, gradually slowing to a standstill little by little. Then the planet appears to be coming nearer and nearer. They can see snow-capped mountain ranges, high mountains, roaring rivers, giant oceans, huge lakes, and vast areas of lush forest. But it looks almost just like Mollimi. Amitola gapes in astonishment at the planet Earth, which looks so much like her own planet. Yes, in many ways it does, but now wait a moment. Aquene speaks softly, and now they see something that they did not see before. There are large, bright cities with tall buildings, bridges, lights, streets, and houses. Eventually, they see a little house with a yard, and inside the house, there are 3 humans. Those must be humans. They look like us. Motega looks at Ahanu in amazement. Ahanu answers with a deep, calm voice, "Yes, they are humans." And it is true. In many ways, they are like us. The 4 Mollimis excitedly watch what is happening in the little house with the 3 humans in it. The humans in the house are a girl named Emma, who is 12 years old, her little brother Victor, who is 6 years old, and their mother, Birgitte Søndergaard. "Come on, buddy, it's almost bedtime," says Emma as she gets up from the sofa in the living room. She goes over to her little brother, who is sitting on the floor in front of the TV. Her face is framed by a long, fair, wavy hair, and her eyes are light blue. She is a cautious and thoughtful girl, but can also be very determined when she experiences something that is unfair. "Good night, Daddy." Victor waves to the man on the TV screen. "Yeah, good night, Daddy." Emma waves too. Their father is a newscaster on a national news channel, and he is reporting on a situation in a war zone where thousands of people have to be evacuated. His name is Eric Søndergaard. "Is it true that everything Dad talks about on the TV is really happening?" asks Victor. He looks seriously at his big sister, and Emma turns off the TV. She smiles fondly at her little brother. He has bright curly hair, dark brown eyes, and is usually full of silliness and chatter. "Well," she begins, "there are some places in the world where there is war. But remember that the news only shows the worst things that happen. There are many good things happening all over the world. Think about all the good that happens to you every day. The news is just a tiny, tiny part of all the things that happen." Emma tries to explain it as well as she can, and Victor listens closely. "But why does Dad always look so serious when he's on TV?" Victor looks at his big sister with large eyes filled with wonder. "Oh, that's how he's supposed to look when he has that job." Emma smiles at her little brother. "Hey, let's go say goodnight to Angel." They go over to a little dog bed where where a very light colored golden retriever with a large round stomach is resting. She stretches happily when Victor and Emma come over to her. Sorry about that. I'll read that last paragraph again. "Oh, that's how he's supposed to look when he has that job." Emma smiles at her little brother. "Hey, let's go say goodnight to Angel." They go over to a dog bed where a very light colored golden retriever with a large round stomach is resting. She stretches happily when Victor and Emma come over to her. "When do you think the puppies will come?" asks Victor. He carefully pets Angel's huge belly. "I think they'll come before Christmas," Emma says as she scratches Angel behind the ear. The dog turns her head to the side and makes happy, satisfied noises. Then the children go into the kitchen to their mother, who is standing at the sink and doing the dishes. "We're going up to brush our teeth, Mom." "Oh, good. I'll come up soon and say good night." Birgitte tries to smile, but Emma can see that her mother's eyes are teary and tired. Later, when Birgitte comes up to Emma's room, she's sitting on the little balcony outside her room with her quilt wrapped around her. "Haven't you gone to bed yet?" Birgitte walks over to her daughter, and together they look at the starry night sky. "No, but I'll go to bed soon." Emma looks sad. She looks at her mother. When do you think you will tell Victor?" "Right after Christmas. We have decided to have Christmas together." Birgitte wipes her eyes with the flat of her hand. "I'm sorry, Emma me." "Oh, I know that, Mom." Emma gently nods. "But I think mostly of Victor." "Yes, we do too." Birgitte gently strokes her daughter's hair. "Sweet dreams, my girl." "Good night, Mom." Emma's eyes fill with tears when her mother leaves the bedroom. She remains sitting, looking at the stars for a bit longer. She folds her hands together. "If there is anyone out there who can hear me," she prays, but then she sighs hopelessly and goes into her bedroom, where she climbs into bed. Emma is restless and can't fall asleep, and after a while she hears soft crying from her mother's bedroom next door. She turns on her bedside lamp, and without making a sound she goes out onto her balcony again. Emma sits there and looks out at the clear night sky, filled with bright stars. Gradually she grows braver and begins to speak softly in quiet prayer. "Hello, is there anyone out there who can hear me? I want to ask you for help. My mom and dad are getting divorced, and my mother is really sad about it, and my dad is so angry. I want to ask if my parents could be good friends again, and will you please always watch over my little brother?" Back in the small wooden house, Amitola, Motega, Ahanu and Aquene stand around the fountain and look down into it while the image of Emma on the balcony slowly disappears. When they can only see clear water again, Amitola and Motega look curiously at the two elders. "Who was that?" asks Amitola. "It's a little family," Ahanu answers. "You will meet the girl and her mother and father and her little brother." "But how?" asks Motega. "What should we do?" asks Amitola. They have many questions, and they eagerly start asking them at the same time. Aquene smiles encouragingly at them before she answers. "That you must decide when you are there. It is not something one can know beforehand." "But what was that box with lights and sounds coming from inside it?" Motega asks. He and Amitola look questioningly at Ahanu and Aquene. Aquene replies, "We do not know entirely what that is. They call it a television. On Earth there are many things which we do not have here on Mollimi. You will see and experience many things when you are there." Amitola says, "But why was the girl sad? And what does it mean that her mother and father shall divorce?" As she speaks, her eyes shine in the light coming from the clear water of the fountain. Aquene answers, "We think it means that they will not live together any longer. But you will get answers to many questions as you get to know the humans." Aquene looks at Ahanu, who nods. Ahanu says, "It's getting late now, and we must go. Come,